Hello friends, we are here in Revelation chapter 13 today. So the subject of this chapter is the beast. Now, depending on your system of thought when it comes to this book, there's the preterist system, which means that you believe that most of these things have already happened. And then there's the futurist, which means that these are prophecies of things that are going to be happening in the future. So in the first view, they believe that the beast is the Roman Empire and that it is also the Emperor Nero. And when it talks about the mortal womb, they're talking about Nero committing suicide in 60 AD, but yet the Roman Empire continues after that. And they even point to, at the end of the chapter, it talks about the mark of the beast. And it's saying his number is 666. Now they look at that and say, if you take the numbers of the letters and you add them up in different ways in the Hebrew alphabet, you can get the name Nero out of it. But you can also get the word beast. You can also get a lot of things. It's not a smoking gun. It's not the definitive way of looking at this. The first way of looking at this, the preterist view, there's really not much to do about it. And you can look at this and say the point of him saying this is that he's telling them, if you have to die by the sword, this is something mentioned in this chapter, if you have to die by the sword, then you have to die by the sword. He's saying a lot of people will be killed during this time. But keep the faith. Now, the point of this chapter is about that in any case. Whether this happens in the future or whether it happens now, you should keep your faith. Remember that even though we go through tribulations, even though we go through hard times, and that the people of God will be persecuted, you will die. Some Christians will die because of their belief in Jesus. But keep the faith because you will live forever with him, and it's going to be wonderful. The second way of looking at this chapter is the futurist view. That's the one that I was brought up on. That's the one that I lean toward. And that is to say that the beast coming out of the water is the Antichrist. Now the Bible has mentioned the Antichrist a couple times, but this beast is not just the Antichrist in the futurist perspective of this. Both the futurist and the preterist believe that it's talking about a nation, that it's a group of countries that come together, like the Roman Empire was, and that there will be a leader of it. So both of them see it that way. They just see it as different leaders. I might even say that it may be a reinstitution of the Roman Empire. That in some way there's going to be this world power that's going to be very much like the Roman Empire in the future, and that there's going to be this leader that is going to have the power of Satan, and he's going to rule everything, and he's even going to die and somehow be brought back. And it talks about this other beast that comes out of the land and it has two horns like a lamb. Many believe that this is going to be kind of the spiritual leader of the beast. In the same way that, a lot of countries today have leaders, and the leaders claim to be divine. And so this leader will claim to be divine, and he's going to have kind of like a head priest, and so that's who this beast is. We can find out from history we can find out from the Bible that Jewish people would wear the Word of God, a symbol of the Word of God, the law, on their hands and on their forehead as a symbol of their submission to the Word and following the law. That was the sign that they, like a physical sign of something that they would do in their lives. And this beast is going to have something similar. He's going to have his sign put on their hands and on their forehead. and they're going to make it so that you can't purchase anything without having this sign. Now, as far as the 666, this is the number of man. That's why it says the number is that of a man. He's not talking about a specific man necessarily. He's talking about it's the number of man. 777 would be the number of divinity, or 7 is the number of divinity, and you're saying it 3 times. But 666 is always one less than God. It's a very flawed number. So he's saying this number that you're having on your hand and on your forehead, it is not the symbol of God. It is not like putting your law on your forehead and on your hand. It's something far less than that. So anyways, that is Revelation chapter 13. Have a great day. Bye.